Well, we have two prominent persons from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Like I'm situated between two big volcanoes this afternoon, so I have to pay attention. On my left, Dr. Jean-Jacques, of course, with him, Senior Ambassador to the OECS, Mr. Philip Gregoire. No stranger. We're talking free movement of Caribbean nationals, CARICOM, Single Market and Economy, CSME. So let me see on my left. Good afternoon to you, sir. How are you doing today?
Good afternoon, Mr. Peltick. Can you hear me very well?
I'm hearing you very well.
Good afternoon to your listeners. I was told Q95 has the widest listenership in the entire Caribbean.
You can check it yourself while you're...
I will verify. I will verify. The doctor and me would like to verify. I don't understand how a room as cozy as this could host the hot seat.
All right.
It's so nice in here. Thanks for having us. Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everybody.
Anytime. Mr. Phillips Gregoire, how are you doing, sir?
Fine. Good afternoon to you, Martin. Good afternoon to all listeners this afternoon.
Yes, of course. It's a pleasure to have you guys. I know we have maybe an hour and a half this afternoon to take questions. We'll ask some questions. And, of course, we hope we'll get the true answers as usual. And, of course, it's an open discussion. What we're having, we're trying to find out a lot of things this afternoon about this CARICOM single market and economy that everybody's talking about. To begin, sir, explain in the most simple terms what is described as a full free movement of persons means under the what it means on the CARICOM single market and economy.
In simple terms, this is the way I like to go. Very, very simple. Straight up, it means the opportunity for nationals from Barbados, Belize, St. Vincent, and Dominica to move freely across each other's borders. That is, by freely, this is what I mean by freely. They would come in with a passport, of course, but they could work without the need for a work permit. So you want to find a job in Barbados or any of these islands. It's only these four participant islands that are now into the full free movement. So the idea is nationals from these islands can move across each other border, work, move in and out freely, work without permit as well, work without the need for a skills certificate. They will also have rights, fundamental rights to primary education and secondary education at a government, the public funded school. That is a right that they have. Rights to acute medical care as well as primary medical care. So primary medical care covers areas such as antenatal care for the mothers and pregnant mothers, postnatal care, baby checkups, what have you, general exams, routine treatment for persons who may have issues with NCDs, acute care, of course, casualty situation, emergency care. That is also a right that they have at government finance facilities. And the way this works is, if in a government finance facility in Dominica, the Dominican gets free acute treatment, free postnatal primary health care treatment, so too a Barbadian, Belizean, and Vincentian, as of the 1st of October, will also be entitled to such.
So let's repeat. You said Barbados, Belize,
and Dominica and St. Vincent.
That's four.
Four. The pioneering four or the fantastic four. That's how we are going.
Okay, so the obvious question is, why not Mr. Gregoire? Why not the rest of the CARICOM?
Well, if we go back to the revised Treaty of Chaguaramas, that was signed in 1973 by four heads of state in CARICOM. If we go back then, we come forward, you'll see a number of things have been happening step by step. And to be specific with your question, it got to the point where we had to get to the free movement, because that was the ultimate goal. What Jean-Jacques explained, the free movement between the borders. But not all member states were ready at the time. So 4 member states were ready, and it was important to go ahead with the 4 member states, hoping that the others will fall in line as we go forward. So that is where we are at this point in time. 4 countries decided to bite the bullet, and that's where we are.
So they call it the Fantastic Four.
Well, I was just thinking, the Treaty of Shagarama has 4 member states signed, So right now, the free movement, 4 members signing.
So you expect a movement, you expect more to follow.
Of course.
Maybe another 4, possibly another 4.
Another 4.
Who knows? Yeah.
Now, as I understand it, free movement, we now have that within OECS. Now the discussion about CARICOM. Can you explain the difference here?
Yeah, well, the difference between the 2 regimes, CARICOM, OECS free movement and CARICOM free movement, you might not be able to observe it straight off the bat. I mean, the same way you see a Lucian coming to Dominica, moving back and forth, working, no issues, that is going to occur. There's a big difference. One, the Lucian can come on his driver's license. The Barbadian or the Belizean cannot come to Dominica as of October 1, as yet, at least, on a driver's license. He must have a passport, or she must have a passport. That is the only known acceptable mode of travel document that will be used as of October 1 within these 4 grouping. Yeah? So that's one significant difference you'll see. Maybe in the operations, I suppose. The next operational difference you will see is that for CARICOM food free movement, you have to register. Once you arrive at the port, you will receive your indefinite stamp. That's what, from the 1st of October. We have direct flights to Barbados, so it's very likely a Barbadian will arrive in Dominica on the 1st of October. I'm not sure what date that is. He or she's going to get an indefinite stay stamp.
So,
no questions asked.
So the Bajans come in and get stamped.
Yeah, no questions. I'll just get a stamp. Whether you stay for 1 day, 2 days, 1 hour, or 1 week, you get your stamp. But you're also told if you wish to reside here and work, or just to reside here for a prolonged period of time, you should go to named person officer in the labor division to register. What does that mean? That means you're going to indicate, hey, I'm here permanently. This is my family. I have 3 kids. 1 is physically challenged, and I have my grandmother. You have to list the dependents.
Okay.
You know? Why is this important? Well, this is important for all the states to do their planning, because it means the grandmother who lives in Sibuli, yes, she's going to probably need some support from the health district or from Yes We Care. So what's going to happen is this information is going to be documented, because you would have to indicate your place of abode might be in Port Michelle or I don't know, Bellevue, So that information is going to be collected and distributed to the relevant government entities, and they will provide the support when necessary.
Why do you think these 4 countries bit the bullets so early? I mean, we have other CARICOM countries that we are able to travel to, and I see a lot of Dominicans going to St. Kitts, maybe St. Lucia, and close by. Why just these 4 countries biting the bullet so early? You can answer that question?
I wouldn't say early, Matt, because we have been trying to get the free movement and the integration movement in place for a very long time. One perspective, based on what Jean-Jacques was saying, is that in right now, right, 1st of October we'll have free movement. Right now, if you're CARICOM national and you move to another member state, you're given 6 months to stay. CARICOM. OECS, you get indefinite stay. That's one big difference between the 2 arrangements. OECS, you move, you get indefinite stay. You go to a CARICOM member state, you get 6 months. So CARICOM is now moving into the OECS arrangement where you get indefinite stay. So the whole thing is to go to the aim is for us to have free movement, but it's happening in stages. And as you ask, why those 4 countries? these 4 countries are ready and they want to move forward. Other countries may be, there are situations nationally that may require for them to be a little more careful and so on. So they're looking at it. In fact, as Jean-Jacques was saying this morning, the arrangements being done, there are a lot of meetings taking place, and citizens of the other countries, not part of the are now attending those meetings so that they can understand what's going on, so they themselves can prepare themselves.
So again, just to you, Mr. Jean-Jacques, or Dr. Jean-Jacques, why the hesitancy? I need to expound it. Why the hesitancy among the other CARICOM countries?
And I've been ruminating over this question, and I cannot find, because it's difficult for me to indicate to you why John or Susan doesn't want to do something. I can suspect, I can assume. The only thing I can come to is that these member states, number one, this is new. This is uncharted territory for us in the Caribbean. Uncharted in the sense that we have tried West Indian reunification for how long now, but to actually see member states moving forward with it, there is some reticence as a result of that, because it's new, it's uncharted. Member states want to first learn to understand deeper what does the operationalization look like. And so I believe that's one element. Dominica has moved forward because Dominica, we have experience with OACS for sure. So we know what full free movement already looks like. And number two, well, we are politically ready. What does that mean? Well, politically ready essentially means that the institutions to facilitate this movement, they are ready. The citizens, there is no groundswell in Dominica against persons from other member states coming to Dominica. We have had this for how long now, where they come to work, they do their thing, they go back, some stay.
So you're not afraid this isn't necessarily of the brain drain that people may say, well, every educated Dominican may just move to Barbados. That's where like there's more time.
We hear that. We hear that.
Yes, you hear that a lot.
But I'll tell you something, a few things, rather. The same way opportunities are created in the other member states for Dominicans, we also create for incoming persons. One. Number two, in Dominica, the many businesses and the youth, they have facilities available for them to thrive if they want to do business. And therefore, what is already in Dominica is kind of support that they probably may not get if they go to another jurisdiction. And that makes Dominica still a base that is attractive. Persons also, don't forget, have the option of remaining in Dominica as their base while applying their trade overseas. So if you, Matt, you're a top journalist, you can have your base in Dominica. You don't have to stay in Dominica. We wish you would stay in Dominica, and you continue to function with a Belizean radio station or Barbadian radio station. And who knows, you have a wider listenership. Then you become remember back in the day there was Dubai from Montreal. You become the 2025 Dubai of the region. So there is that factor, is the reality. But if you look at the number of persons say, but many Dominicans are going to send kids, well, then that's when they're going to go. Well, if you look at things, there are measures being put in place in every island to attract incoming skills and to retain.
Okay, well, I want to make this discussion here this afternoon very interactive. So I'm going to allow some calls as we go.
Please.
Hello, talk to me, yes?
Good afternoon. I welcome regional integration and the free movement of these countries. Of course, I attended the meeting and I had my questions answered. But two Haitian families have asked me to ask them, why is Haiti, the first independent country in the Caribbean, given the complex situation? Why is Haiti not invited at this moment? Thank you very much. I'm listening.
All right.
Well, what I can say now is 4 member states have agreed to move forward. Haiti is not one of them. So I think we should just stick to that, because that is what we are focusing on. 4 member states moving forward and how we're going to make this thing work. That's what I would say.
Yeah. Well, that's
There's a lot of questions about Haiti.
Yeah, well, yeah, lots of questions about Haiti. But Haiti.
Why about reservations? You're
Haiti, right. Haiti and Bahamas is not up to be part of the CSMA. Neither way back, way back then,
Mhm.
Haiti and back. Haiti, sorry, has not implemented the CSM. It has never, accepted that it was going to be part of the CSM.
All right, one
So it's
telephone.
not we excluded Haiti.
Thank you, excellent.
No.
Okay. On the telephone, yes? Call, are you there?
Hello?
Yes, I'm here.
Yes, I am. Hey, Matt,
I'm
I
here.
want to ask Jaja, since that's uncharted waters, why were the population not educated on such a move before the government make a move? And secondly, what are some of the provisions are there to protect Dominican jobs in Dominica? I'd like him to answer that for me, please.
Why education and protect?
Yeah, I think he's talking about enough education. Why just jump at this time? I mean, it comes up on October 1. We have free movement. So he's saying we were supposed to educate the public a little more on that.
Well, Matt, we have been having educational programs for a long time about free movement, about CSME, about Caribbean unity, you name it. We have been doing that. I have been in schools for how many times in schools to talk to students about this Caribbean thing. And it's not that we're not doing anything. I think even this we have on our schedule now of programs to leading towards the 1st of October. So we are doing more education, but we've been doing that all the time. I mean, people forget.
People were not paying attention.
Well, maybe, but we've been doing that.
In journalism, say it's not a sexy subject, so people don't pay attention.
Well, that's true. But even the OACS, the engagement for OACS integration, was also on the topic of integration. So although we're here today now on CARICOM food free movement, but we have been dialoguing on the question of integration, sensitized on the question of integration.
Okay, let's move on because the questions will come in. I know, Alan Furious. Are you there, caller? Yes?
Matt, yes, I'm there.
Okay.
Good afternoon. Matt, unlike other times when I just speak from the mind, I have my 4 questions written down, so I'm hoping the gentlemen will take note of them and they can answer so I can listen on it.
Yes.
I'm using my same phone.
All right, take your time. Go ahead.
Matt, immigration is generally, free movement is an immigration matter. In Dominica, the immigration is the police. You have 2 persons on your panel. Is there any policeman involved on that panel there? And if not, why isn't the police there since they are the enforcers of the immigration in Dominica? That's 1.
Okay.
2, why should one be going to the Labor Department to register when they've come into Dominica rather than going to the Immigration Department to regularize this whole situation? Because the Dominica seems to be the only country mixing labor and immigration. Those are 2 different matters. Okay, so why go to the Labor Department rather than immigration to register? 3, how does that impact a person? You have lived in Dominica as one of the participating member state citizens, and you want to travel to one of the states that you have a permanent residence stamp in your passport, and you want to travel to a state, one of the other islands that is not a part of this. How does it affect that person? And number 4, what is in place to prevent the exploitation of citizens from participating states, right? As like what was done with the Haitians when they were exploited within the Labor Department. And I hear we're still calling the Labor Department. Why are we going back to the same thing? Why haven't we not learned? What is in place to prevent citizens from being exploited again like that? Thank you very much.
That's a lot of questions and deep questions too. Yes? Who's going to take the first bite to the cherry there?
Why the police aren't here? Honestly, it's because you can't have everybody on board.
All right.
The police are important. The customs are important. And by police I mean security, the hard boot security, the immigration, the nurses and education. Everybody is important. But what has happened? Education, right? But what has happened, and you can be sure of that, is that we have had internal consultations. As a matter of fact, the police are a central part of our national planning team. Tomorrow, there is a briefing with the police, immigration, as well as the customs, just 2 of them together. So they have been one front and center with us from the beginning.
So they're part of your team?
Of course, yes. They are central part of the team. everybody can come along.
Mhm.
You know? So that is why you see that there's two of us. Could have been one, but there's two of us here today. There's a question you want to jump onto? In particular? Why labor, not immigration? That decision was taken, I remember, because it was said that Labor Division already had the experience of recording incoming persons for the skills certificate.
Mhm.
That's why. So they have a bank, they have the desk, they have things
More
set up.
data.
Pardon me?
There's more data.
It's all about data, right? So they have already been involved in doing this. That was the reason given.
Now the effect on non
or persons that
not
shouldn't,
part of the four.
and
yeah?
that will not be exploited.
Yeah.
Well,
So how do we-
that's a
Well,
fourth question.
that's a
That's a
fourth
fourth question.
Okay.
The third question was, if you're not part of the four, what happens? No.
And you're traveling, and you're one of the four.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, for example, we still have the OECS arrangements in place where you have free movement. So you get to a country, you get indefinite stay. You're a member of the OECS.
Mhm.
CARICOM, when you get to a country, you get 6 months stay. That is still in place.
Mhm.
It will change in 1st of October for the 4 countries, but you still have your 6 months. You still have, if you're going to work, you still need to get a work permit, or if you have a skill certificate, you don't need the work permit. So there are arrangements in place to take care of those.
Okay.
So I don't see, I mean, when you become part of the four, then you get more privileges. But right now, you have to maintain what is in existence at this point.
Like we see happening in Barbados, I mean, nationals are afforded free education, for universities. People are saying, I know people are now asking, do I have that benefit
For what's that?
for education?
No.
but-
University education?
No. Free education.
For
Joe.
free education,
From
already?
first
Well,
of
you see, the
October.
language is free. The language is the language is a receiving member state shall do for the incoming national what is done for the home-based national. For example, math. If in Dominica there is no tuition, and there is no tuition for primary and secondary schools in government schools, it means the Bajan comes in, the Bajan doesn't have to pay for primary and secondary schools.
And the same applies.
And the same applies for Dominican going to Barbados for primary and secondary, not tertiary. So it doesn't include the state college in Barbados. Doesn't include anything beyond secondary. Doesn't include Cable campus. So the Barbadians currently their tuition is halved or paid in full by the Barbadian government. Barbadian government is not obliged in this arrangement to do the same
you
for
see,
Dominican.
I underline the word obliged.
It's not. It's
They
not.
can decide to.
They can decide on the generosity if things are very good. If they want you and decide they want to sponsor 100 scholarships across the board for Caribbean nationals, they can do so. But they are not obliged. This decision pertains only to primary and secondary schooling, and that at government public schools. So government, if you choose to go to a private secondary school in Barbados, well, you pay your long money, as we say. You should be
the same money.
No, you pay a big money.
I'm talking about if Bajan says.
Sorry, yes. Sorry, I would imagine if the cost is 2,000 Bajan a month, you'll pay 2,000 Bajan a month. I don't think they will charge you, unless if they have extra fees for
Foreigners?
foreign students. Yeah, you never know.
But would you-
because the fact is,
No, because I want to ask, would you consider yourself foreign when you're part of this four?
but
Would you-
no, but
Would
well,
you consider yourself foreign now you're part of that four?
yes, but the decision doesn't include tertiary education, so therefore it is it's off the table.
Discretion.
The
Discretion.
institution, the private institution, is free to impose its rules.
All right.
Remember,
On the next one, Matt, there's another.
there's the last one.
Yeah,
I think he was asking a question about, to
I have
avoid
it-
exploitation.
Yeah, but the thing is, we're dealing with the 4 member states going forward from 1st of October, right? So at the end of the day, whatever a Bajan gets, a Bajan national gets, a Dominican will get the same treatment in Barbados, and a Bajan coming here will get the same treatment as a Dominican.
So
you
there's-
cannot say because you're Bajan, you cannot get this, you cannot get that, under the treaties and the different agreements we have in place. And if ESA Dominica refuses to extend the same privilege to Bajan, that's litigation. You go to court, have the CCJ. You know about the CCJ?
Oh, of course.
And as I said, CCJ, remember all member states are not members of CCJ, Caribbean Court of Justice. Some member states are still not. They don't use it as the final appellant. For example, Trinidad and Tobago.
On the telephone, hello, yes? Oh, sorry about that. You can keep calling and keep missing the calls. Again, it's 449-3095. I have to go through to my phone and, of course, take phone calls as well. So numbers, again, are 449-3095, 449-3096, 449-3097, as we continue to take a phone call. Now, I can leave now, go to my home, take my bags, and decide I'm going to take a few members of my family. Is that really possible?
Yeah, man.
As possible as you just said it. It's as easy as that. I always want to say as wash your food and come, but it's not as wash your food and come. But it's as easy as that. You have to pack your luggage. You have to ensure that you have some money so you can buy some food, pay your rent. But that's it.
Okay, let's take a phone call.
Oh, sorry, and have your passport too.
Your passport.
Your
Yes.
passport.
Hello, yes?
Greetings, man. How you doing?
All right, my brother.
Okay. No, when they're talking about movements, do you have got any documents to move when you move?
That's a very important question. I was about to answer the question. Do you need documents like work permits with skill certificate?
Things?
No, not under this regime. That's a big difference between this one coming in place as of October 1 and what currently occurs today, 23rd. If you go to Barbados today, 23rd, or tomorrow, 24th, and you say, I'm going to work at Harris Space Barbados, well, they will ask you questions like your work permit, or if you have specialized skills, your skill certificate. As of October 1, all that is out of the door. Under this regime, with Barbados, Belize, and St. Vincent, you don't need a work permit. You can go there with your passport. He's asking if he moves what document he would have. Your passport, the birth certificate of your dependents, if you have kids, certainly your marriage certificate to show indeed and true that this lady is your spouse or this man is your spouse. If you have adopted children, you should walk with documents that show proof that you have adopted this child. If you are haven't formally adopted, but you have a child in place in your care, then I would suggest you get a notarized letter. This is very important, Matt, because we would like to ensure, one, the family moves together, but also the security of persons who move across the borders.
Okay. 449-3095-96 and 97. More telephone calls are coming at this time. I see a lot of, a very busy guy around here. A lot of Facebook messages there. So, where do I travel to work in a member state? How would taxation work? Education for us? I think you explained the education part of it, but how would taxation work?
You pay the tax according to the laws of the country. Yeah, so if you buy a bar of chocolate in Barbados and a bar of chocolate, according to your laws, says you must pay 15% VAT. You pay, unless the person's talking about income tax. Wait, no, you still work.
Same thing.
Yes.
Same rule.
The laws, yes.
You just follow the rules. Yeah.
The important question, mate, Social Security, which is a vital part of it.
So security, if the person is concerned about that, the person doesn't say so. But if you're concerned that after having worked 18 years in Dominica, you moved to Barbados, you're retired, so you want a new line of profession, your Social Security benefits is safe. There's what we have among the CARICOM states and OECS as well, what we call a portability of Social Security. That I was reassured just about a week ago that is safe. What we are still working on right now is payment of short-term benefits, sick leave here and there. I think maternity leave is part of that too. That kind of leave, we are trying to iron out the rough patches with regards to that. But you should have no fear to come to Dominica if you reside in Belize and you want to explore new opportunities. Work your Social Security is safe. You will get what is due to you.
All right. Again, it's 2:02, Dominica. We have almost 58 minutes, so you have a lot of time to ask questions. And make sure you make that question short and sweet. Let me see if you can ask another question. Right now, we're listening to keen interest. I think it's just a repeat of that one. Some people are already suggesting I don't feel comfortable, with that, in terms of some countries are participating, some countries are not participating there. But again, it's their decision, not yours.
No, nobody was excluded.
Nobody excluded.
No, nobody was excluded. You're free to indicate your readiness and your interest, and we come on board. But as Ambassador Gregor said, there are many more who are interested. I can assure you. They have shown their interest through their utterances, through the questions that they make. Some might tell you, look, we are working, going to work on X, Y, and Z,
Mm-hmm.
and then we'll come on board.
All right.
But also consider it's a political
It's a wait
decision.
and see kind of approach.
Not just wait and see. In some cases, maybe wait and see. In some cases, it's genuinely that they have to get some things in place first before.
But-
they-
Hold on, Mr. Gregor. Hello, talk to me. Yes. Hello. No, somebody's. Yes, you will say something, Mr. Gregor.
No, what has hampered the free movement to an extent is that in some countries they're afraid, or they think that they'll be flooded with nationals from another country, and people will take their jobs. I'm sure people in Dominica may feel the same way. I was just saying that some people might feel that some member states are saying persons will flood their places, take jobs from their nationals, and that has been an impediment to the free movement. But the records in the OECS would show that didn't happen. People move. You have a lot of people, Dominicans in Antigua. People move. People go to St. Martin. So that fear, the records show that's not the case of people taking people's jobs. And I'm sure people in Dominica are thinking the same way, that other people come and take their jobs.
I'm sure they're thinking that way. But let's see if we can see. I see somebody's on the telephone there. You see, they call my phone. They call. We talk on Facebook. Everybody's trying to get in. Hello, talk to me. Yes.
Now, you don't think it is a good move to move the passport from 10 years to 20 years?
All right. Somebody's asking whether we don't think it's a good move to move it from 10 years to 20 years. That's under my jurisdiction. We have foreign affairs. Yes.
So I want to say I am not an expert on such a topic.
Okay.
We wish that we'll be able to move across the borders in the Caribbean without a need for a passport.
Mhm.
Just show your valid ID and move across. You want to go to Belize this afternoon. There's a flight waiting for you. Just grab your bag and your family. Hey, let's go to Belize, man. We say Belize for a week and you're gone.
Now, somebody's asking a question, a very important one, and we have that serious concern in Dominica. Doctors and nurses are living in droves. Why wouldn't they move to these other islands, making the health situation worse, especially since they pay more in these other attractive islands? A very important question.
The interesting thing is, Matt, all of the other islands are suffering the same fate for medical workers and teachers. All of us in the same boat. We in Dominica think it's only Dominica. Never. And so
So you think
Barbados is under pressure. The other islands are doing their best to catch up. They're finding creative ways to retain and to attract health workers from elsewhere. So it's a worldwide phenomenon. The United Kingdom does as well. En masse importing.
they importing a
That
lot
is
of Mhm.
the world. If you look at how things are going in the world, there's a demand for the skills, and with the increase in various diseases, the increase in the awareness of NCDs, persons are going to want to employ a lot of these persons, their own home nurse to work.
So it's not necessarily a threat just for Dominic.
No. Well, no. I mean, the same way they attract our healthcare workers, we also attract some of them. As we know, the number of foreigners working in our health system in Dominica.
Just like franchise cricket, West Indies can't keep people from going to play in the franchise competitions because they get more money there. So look at our team. People were saying that they want a leave. As soon as they get the leave, they are somewhere else playing cricket because it's lucrative there. So it's a thing that is there. It's dynamic. How you deal with it, you just have to manage it.
Hello, talk to me on the telephone. Yes.
Yeah, good afternoon. I
Good-
listened to the conversation. Now, one of the issues I have, and I know the The governor of the central bank mentioned it, even among the OECS. We have free movement in the OECS. One of the issues we have is the banking system. And let me explain what I mean. Somebody moves from Dominica to St. Kitts and Nevis. They move them Friday, they get a job Monday. To open a bank account so that you could start your money scan, because most employers pay for your banks right now. Man, it takes, you got to bring a Bible. They want the police record from the island where you came from. And it's a whole set of rigmarole and red tape. And a lot of people end up under that pressure. So I want to know how they're going to work on that thing, especially the banking system, so that people don't get so much problems instead of a bank account. Because if you move with your family, get a job, you need to have a bank account so you can operate. And then getting that bank account open is like pulling teeth. Because the government central bank mentioned that. He said when you travel across the region, that's one of the issues people raise all the time. The ease of opening a bank account in the islands. Because, as I said, you move, you get a job, and then you have to wait. Is a problem to get that bank account open. Too much red tape. Thanks.
You want to do this? Yes.
One of the outstanding issues that the gentleman, he seems to be informed, is one of the outstanding issues that continues to feature in conversations. That this is something I had to work on, the ease of opening a bank account. The idea is that capital in the
Well, on the surface, it seems easy.
On the surface, it's simply, but there are legislation, there are regulations in different jurisdictions that have different that make different requirements of persons. We're all part of the global financial network, and because of that, you have foreign powers that impose their conditions upon these regional banks. And therefore, states will have to comply one way or the other. What's happening is we are attempting to see how we can come to some understanding to make life easier for the national, because there is supposed to be no restriction on the movement of capital for the moving national.
All right, the telephone calls are going
on the agenda.
Somebody's asking about the benefits of this free movement. Can you speak to these CARICOM countries participating? We talk about Barbados and Vincent. Why would you speak of the benefits and some of the challenges?
One of the biggest benefits is ease to move and to work. Ease to move and to work. You can just get up and go today, and tomorrow, if you have a job there, tomorrow you are in a job and you're working. No need for work permit. No need for a skill certificate. That is one big ease. Therefore, if you are, and also to establish a business. So if you are the proprietor of a juice factory in Dominica and you want to expand your tentacles into Baileys all over there, the free movement regime facilitates that movement of capital, as well as the tools, your machinery, your personnel. If you want to move some or one or two of your personnel, skilled workers from Dominica to work with you in Baileys Silbat factory, that is easily done. So there's an ease of moving across the borders and of establishing to the business that this regime proposes.
So I'm in the construction business.
Yeah.
Just an example. I'm in the construction business. I have some backhoes. I have some heavy equipment that I need to take across. I don't want to buy new equipment in Barbados, and I want to carry my stuff across, fill my container, and go to Barbados. The challenge there.
The protocol on contingent rights indicate that tools of trade, the receiving country. Why you want to go to Barbados? You want to go to Barbados?
I might think about it.
Barbados shall grant you the requisite concessions. Well, the concessions and the duties that are available as any incoming Barbadian. So if an incoming Barbadian, he or she would not have to pay any duty on his bobcats or his backhoes, that is also going to apply to you. Even though you're born Dominican, but because we are part of this arrangement, you can freely move your tools of trade. Well, not freely, sorry. You can move your tools of trade at the rate that a Barbadian would, or a Belizean would. You know what I'm saying? That certainly is going to facilitate the setup of business, the movement of businesses. And we hope that Dominicans will make Dominica the base but of course expand. Venture out into these new areas as they open up.
So put a piece in Barbados too. Put a piece in St. Vincent.
Well, if you can put a piece on them, if you have the capital, sure, why not? But we expect you to. We wish that you would. Not expectation, but we wish that you will maintain your hub in Dominica, and so bring back capital and continue to employ a lot of young persons whom we're training out every year from the state college.
Is there a particular reason why we're starting now, October 1, or we have wasted too much time, so we need to rush this? OECS ambassador, tell me. Is there a particular reason why we're starting now, October 1? Why?
Well, I'm the OECS ambassador.
Yes.
So if you see what they say, you ask me.
Okay,
I think you probably want
let's get that clear.
my predecessor.
Jean-Jacques is the ambassador, Dominica's ambassador to CARICOM and OECS.
Right.
That's what I was before.
Oh, yes. Okay, we're tired.
But I guess we have same information.
Yes. Let's take another phone call. Are you there? Yes? Yes.
Hey, Mr. Pellet, blessings to you. What's up?
Blessings to you, sir.
Blessings to the two gentlemen that are there as well.
You're moving to Barbados now? Blessings.
Matt Pellet, me want me to buy to the open teeth. It is a little alarming and annoying at the same time, because the advocacy I have heard for many, many, many years. How much now, Mr. Gregoire? We are talking about.
As I said, the Treaty of Chagaramas was signed in 1973 in Trinidad. Okay, and then there has been that movement since that time, and we're going in stages, and we've all realized that it has been slow, and I think the effort is being made to expedite and to move to get where we want to get as one people in the Caribbean.
In the interest of time, my beloved brother, I know how politically how we can be distorting and perverting everything to our own convenience. But the urgency where we are politically and economically, it is a little frightening and alarming, because all of a sudden the imbalance is going to weigh heavier on these other countries. Because when I say the imbalance, on us rather than on them. The brain drain, we will be, Dominica is almost virtually empty, or maybe literally or physically empty. And then for that opportunity to present itself, how much people can we attract and how much people we are going to lose? The brother say he hope that Dominicans can make Dominica their base. It is not conducive, my brother, for them to do so. So I wonder why it's not a sudden push, but that urgent push, so to speak, for that matter to be implemented, where we are going to receive the short and the dirty end of the stick. That's just a little concern. I was not about to call you Matt. You that causing me to call you Matt Pellet. You have a blessed day.
Again, based on the question he just asked, that's what I was asking, the timeliness of this. Yeah, why not?
We've answered that. But the thing is, Matt, there are companies here, well established here, with maybe branches or businesses in other Caribbean countries,
Sure.
And what they're doing is taking advantage of the arrangements that are there. Some of us are more skeptical, and we want to see things, we want to see that, we want to, be careful. And there are other people. Well, I'm not a businessman myself, but I know in business you have to take a risk. I know that. Maybe I'm not a man who takes risk. but
maybe you should.
well, I'm looking at it now.
Yeah.
But people, there's risk in business, and people are taking it, and there are Dominicans who are business overseas. So we have to move. We have to move, as Jean-Jacques said. 4 member states are moving, and the others will come on board. They will.
But Matt, you have to understand what is also attracting the others who are contemplating the move. If you look at what's happening in the world today, you will agree, many small blocks are looking to come together.
True.
Yes, all across the world. The blocks that exist, they are looking more now to come together because they realize there's a certain shift geopolitically, and that shift is not necessarily in the favor of the small island developing state or of the small microstate. So the blocks, small blocks, medium-sized blocks that would once defunct, they're trying to re-energize and get back together. Integration does one thing. Integration also does is it allows for greater familiarity, solidarity, if you will, and shared resources. So this marriage, you can call it that, is meant to allow all people to move across, benefit from the fruits of the earth in each other's territory, at the same time working to develop each other's country. So it's all about economics, survival, and political realities that we are facing right now. Yeah.
All right. Now, are there avenues that if you feel that you have not been treated fairly within those four CARICOM countries, or these four CARICOM countries, just implemented the treaty, we can go to? In other words, there's a court that you can say, well, I have not been treated fairly. How do you deal with this?
Yeah. I'm not aware there's one particular court, but before you get to the court, there's a grievance mechanism.
Okay.
And we are obliged. Well, we are obliged. Every member state is obliged to display or to inform the incoming national that if he or she is displeased with the treatment that as he's trying to exercise his right to free movement, then this is the procedure he can apply to. He complete the form, and submit it normally to the CSMA focal point, the focal point for CSMA in the member state, and that is taken forward. Most cases, this never gets caught because this is a result.
All right, let's see more telephone calls. Yes, good.
Yeah, Matt, just quickly. I have a thing I keep saying. The same idea in a different context leads to unequal results. What you need to look at is not the idea, it's in the context in which this idea operates. That is not a gamble, that is not a risk, that is like a rush and roulette. What we are doing, not going to do, because the horse has already bolted the stable. Everybody leaving, going to Totola, Anguilla, Antigua, everywhere, running away from Dominica. So if that opportunity would have presented itself, what are we doing? What is maybe not in the pipeline? What is on the table to mitigate the inevitability of the disadvantage in which Dominica will be in? Can you all answer me on that? I don't want to talk.
But the question also be, what about the disadvantages that St. Vincent or Barbados or Belize can be too, right? Question? Because you seem to be placing a lot of emphasis, I'm just asking the question, you seem to be placing a lot of emphasis on Dominica. The other countries might be saying the same thing. Just a question to you as well. Huh?
No, but the flow might be in their interest because they are on a solid footing, infrastructural wise, economically wise, politically wise, but the same thing I said, the same idea in a different context leads to unequal results. So that's what I'm saying. How much it is going to impact us, to what degree, and how much it is going to advantage them, to what degree? Is there any scientific study on that? No. Russian roulette again. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Blessing seems very pessimistic about that approach. That's, I think, what I'm getting. Yes?
Well, I mean, the concern that there'll be a drain and there might not be any structures put in place to fight that drain is understood. I note it. But I ask, but how does one prepare an individual for the opportunities? You educate him or her, and you provide support as best as you can. As far as I'm aware, in the last budget, the subventions to the state college and other youth programs, they have not stopped. The support that government has described for small businesses, that has not been cancelled. So I say that to say that, well, some will go, but there are many. If they wish to stay in Dominica, there are many who will find that the state college, our education system, and the supporting structures put in place by the government across ministries are going to enable persons to remain in Dominica and thrive if they wish to. There are many young persons who are thriving in Dominica, and that's how some of the credit unions get so rich, Matt. You probably might know about it. Weren't you on the board of a credit union once, Matt?
That's a long time ago. That's a long time ago.
So, how does the credit union get so rich? Sure, our grannies are from overseas, in overseas selling money, but there are many young persons making lots of money and they bank it. So, all that to say, there is room, there are things in place in Dominica for persons to thrive, young, medium, senior, if they wish to. We have challenges, but hey, I say, look,
They're saying there are opportunities as well.
yes, man. I say grab you, say in Dominica, you're comfortable, it's nice, fresh air. It's not as bad on the crime scene if you compare in certain regards, and you expand yourself. Let Dominica be your base, employ some persons, still pay some taxes in Dominica.